All right, we're just going to go ahead and get started. So today's going to be a quick review of some of the functions, and I'm also going to show you a new function that's part of our lead generator. And then we're going to show you guys a sneak peek at some of the new improvements and updates that we're doing to the website. So we'll have Merrick on the call as well. He's our VP of Sales, so he'll take over right after I do. So my name's Steve. I'm the head of support over here at Map My Customers. And I want to start it off with just thanking you guys for coming in here today, taking the time out of your busy schedules. So let's just get cracking right now. So the first thing I want to show you guys is going to be our updated lead generator tool. So we'll go over here to add contacts at the top left. And you're going to choose this find new customers option. So you'll be able to search for new customers or new leads just by typing in a search term. You're going to set a radius, and you can also change the location. So when you first get to this page, it's going to tell you that your default radius is 10 miles. So right now, we're in the center of Raleigh. That's where our office is located. But you can easily change that just by going up here and selecting a specific address. You can put a zip code in, or even just a city. It's really up to you. And then this basically works like a Google search. So up here, I would just type in the search term for whatever I'm looking for. So if I'm looking for dentists, I can just type in dentists up here, and we'll get the same type of deal like we do in Google. Then I'm going to set the radius up here. So let's say I want to look for dentists within 5 miles of Durham, North Carolina. Once I hit enter, you're going to have quite a few new options. So now we have a new location. Just hit OK. And then it'll populate some results for you. So each of these blue pins is a dentist based on the search term. So if I hover over one of them, we've got South Point Family Dentistry. I can add that pretty easily just by hitting the add pin right there. So now we've got their information that's available through Google. So you'll see the company name is South Point Family Dentistry. We've got their phone number, their street address, city, state, and postal code. If I want to add them successfully, I'll just hit save. All right, so now you've got the pin added to your map. And then we're going to do a couple other things with that in just a few moments. So now you can search for that customer within your contact database. So we can just go over to contacts right here and then go to all contacts. So keep in mind, we just added the pin South Point Family Dentistry. So you'll see the top option in our contact list is South Point Family Dentistry. I'm going to click into that right here. So now we've got the contact page, and I'm just going to go over one of our basic functionalities that most people are using on a daily basis. It's called check-ins. So when I want to create an instance of having some type of contact with the customer, so whether it be a phone call, an email, or an actual visit, we can create what's called a check-in. So up at the top right, you'll see a flag button. We'll just hit that, and it's going to ask you to add a note to the check-in. So let's just say I dropped off business cards there, and then we're going to check in with a note. So you just hit OK once it's confirmed. So now we've got a couple things updating in here. So you'll see last check-in date, Thursday, March 29th, 2018. And then the number of check-ins also updates. So now we have one check-in. Down here at the bottom in the notes section, we'll see the note that I created, and everything is time-stamped as well. I'm just going to save this customer, and then I'm going to show you guys how to create a group and edit the group as well. So let me back out of here and go to our groups page. So we're going to go over to mapping and then groups. So groups are created to segment your customers in a specific way. So on this account, we have a few different groups that we've created. So this account has it spread out by the type of customer. So we'll see agriculture, auto body shops, and then quite a few other ones such as zones and the tier of the accounts. So a lot of people like to separate it out by the rep that they have. So we'll see we have Brianna customers. I'll be showing you guys another portion of that with the groups as well. So you can share groups to other people. So just to easily create a group, you can just hit add group, and we're going to call this one webinar 329, and we're going to submit the name. So now you have a group with 0 pins in it, and you can set the color, edit the name, or delete it. So to add pins to a group, a couple ways you can do it. You can do them individually by clicking on a pin and scrolling down to the option for the groups. So you'll see a group section right here, and we can just select it to be part of the webinar 329 group. I'm going to save that, and the group count will update to 1 on the other page. So now you'll see webinar 329 has 1 pin. Another way to add pins to groups is going to be using the lasso. So this is helpful if you want to have a geographical breakdown of your customers. So I can just use this tools right here at the top left, select the lasso, and then we're going to draw a shape around the pins that I want to add to that group. So I'm just going to hit OK. And you'll just use your mouse, hold it down, and then draw around them as you want. So now we have them highlighted, and we're just going to go back to edit lassoed pins. So it replaces the tools bar. And then with the lasso, you can either set the groups for them or you can just set the color. So I'm going to add them to the webinar group and just hit save. So now they're all in that webinar group. You'll see the count updates to 9 pins, so I have a total of 9 pins in that group. If I want to make all of those pins the same color, you can hit set color, and then you can pick it from the drop down. So let's just say I want them all to be black, and then save. You'll see a little icon for a black pin next to the webinar, just noting that you do have a set color for webinars as black. If you want to edit the name of them, you just hit edit name, and you can type in whatever you'd like. So let's call this one West Group, because they're on the west side of the map. You'll save it, and then depending on how many pins you have in that group, it'll update accordingly. So the next thing I want to show you guys before that gets done saving is going to be the sharing option. So before you share pins with any group, you're going to want to make sure that the pins are part of a group. So in order for you to share pins with another team member, the steps to be taken would be to add the pin to the group and then come to this page. So I'm on the Teams page, and you'll see I have Dr. Stevens as the team owner, and then I also have a teammate, Dr. Anderson at dental.com. We'll go up to the share pins option at the top, and it brings you back to this page. So it just gets rid of the adding team members option. So next to the name of the person you want to share pins with, over here, you'll see share pins. And then you're gonna get a drop-down menu of all the groups that you've created. And next to them, you'll see a no and a yes. So you can toggle that as you wish. So if I wanted to share this new webinar group to the Dr. Anderson team member, I would just hit yes. Simple enough there. And then the last thing I wanted to show you guys before we get into the overhaul portion of our webinar today is going to be the reporting aspect. So I'm going to go over to the dashboard and show you guys the reports. So when you want to get reports on any notes, check-ins, or reminders that you've done within a certain period of time, you'll come to this dashboard, and you can download reports into Excel format. So if I wanted to look at all of the notes I created for the past 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, or even just a specific date and time, I can just go to the custom range right here. And let's say I wanted to look at the notes I created between March 5th and March 9th. So you'll set your starting date here and your ending date there. You'll scroll down and then just select the report that you want. So if you want to get a report just for the notes, just for the check-ins, or just the reminders, you'll just hit the download report, and the report will populate just the customers that you've created notes for, check-ins for, or reminders. All right, so I'm going to hand it off the webinar to Merrick, and he's going to cover some of our updates. So hang on just a second.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day here. One of the really fantastic parts about our organization has been the challenges that we've been solving with customers around the globe. This past year, our company went from 5,000 customers to 30,000 customers across 55 countries. As part of this, our company has grown up in the process. So one of the things that we've been tackling with some of our biggest customers is the ability to add some more depth to our system to tackle some more complex organizations and things that you would expect. So one of the things that we've been working on is the ability to create multiple different accounts and contacts and deals within the platform, as well as within this new overhaul, drive a lot of new features that have been requested by end users. So I'm going to walk you through just sort of generally what it's going to look like and some key things today. And then I believe our beta is already out. I saw a good number of you guys were already signed up for it today, which is fantastic. We're really excited to roll this out to everyone. But as you can see, the dashboard is now a new centralized view for you here. You have all the activities being driven by your team in real time. You have all the accounts assigned to you, any upcoming reminders, the classic charts and reporting, recent check-ins from your team, and where your team members are located, all from one centralized platform. Then, as we start bringing down different areas, this is what a lot of people have been asking about, right? How do we start bringing in accounts, contacts, and deals so that as you're tying this to your Zoho environment or Salesforce environment or Dynamics environment, we can handle a lot of those different complexities, right? So let's just dig in. Let's say if we went into, your classic situation, you're editing a contact. How would that be different in this version? Well, first off, as we sort of scroll down here, we now have a new deal section. You now have a deal that has been tied to this specific person, right? Benjamin Bentley here at this company. I don't know if we have this one assigned to a company. We have an active deal with him. A potential for $43,500 of a product opportunity. Now you can organize that all from one centralized place, and then you still have all sort of the classic notes that you had before, your photos, your PDFs, the routes, all the types of things that you guys know and love. But now, what about some other complexities? What about the account associated with Benjamin Bentley? We have that right here. You can see this is the account form. You can see, this belongs to John. It's in financial services, and it's in our farming accounts. So we also now have groups for those accounts. So now this can also belong to a child account. So imagine you're selling to someone like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has, their home office in Atlanta, but then a variety of offices globally. So sometimes you may want to update something for just your local office of Coca-Cola, but then maybe you'd also want to update it for, just maybe Coke bottling near us in Greensboro, North Carolina. Creating these separate child accounts and parent account relationships allows you to keep those different entities separate within our system. You also have the contacts associated with this account. In this case is Benjamin, which we saw before, and then the different deals. You can see that there's actually more than one deal at this account, but only one of them was actually with Benjamin. The service opportunity is not related to him. Again, then we also have separate notes that are just at this account level. So how does this affect our check-ins, right? So check-ins are just with the contacts, which is, you're managing those relationships, you're taking care of those people. And this is exactly sort of how you would expect it, just as it was before. But one thing that we've added, which is very, very interesting, is the ability to dig in and create separate cadences on your different groups. So this is going to look very different to some of you guys for the groups of contacts. So what we can do now is you can set a cadence, either 7 days, 14 days, 30, 60, or 90 for any group. So what you're basically doing is organizing the group into a schedule, right? So we have our A tier accounts who we want to see once a week, our B tier accounts we want to see every 2 weeks, and our C tier accounts that we want to see once a month. Now what we can do is click into an individual account, and click on Show Cadence Colors, you can see in red which of these accounts have fallen out of our cadence. We're not doing a fantastic job, as I think it looks like only this pin right here is actually within cadence and the rest of them are without. But now you can see directly who are the people you need to follow up with. Now imagine you're a territory manager or a sales leader. You can have the ability to talk to your team and say, all right, guys, are we covering our A accounts? Okay, now what about our B, and now what about our C? No more 90-day sales cycles that start slipping through the cracks. No more C-tier accounts that get forgotten in the shuffle. We're here to help you stay organized on all your accounts and serve them the way that they need to be taken care of. Another thing that I forgot to mention with the contacts is our new centralized filtering system. So as you go back, this is going to look a little bit different. Now, different values and groups are in one centralized area. You just select the ones that you want, change the radius of the search, and keep everything in one central panel. We've also had a lot of questions about how do you manage more than one opportunity across a given account. Now, with deals being a separate entity in our system, as we saw with the account for Benjamin Bentley, you can have separate deal amounts, deal types, separate potential closing dates, separate company names, and separate stages, all within a single account. Soon, over the next few months, we'll start rolling out multi-table sync with our CRM partners, Salesforce, Zoho, Microsoft Dynamics, Zoho, etc., which will allow us to not only help you guys stay on top of your accounts and your contacts at these various customers, but also your opportunities. Some of our largest partners and customers focus entirely on opportunities. So this will allow us to focus. Next, we're having an entirely new platform for reporting. And I think we'll be the first to admit it. Our reporting system in the past was designed to keep things simple for people. We're trying to get people out of Excel and into the centralized system. What we're going to be doing now is still trying to keep things simple for you, but also if you need some special report for an internal meeting or what have you, now across any item, accounts, contacts, deals, check-ins, reminders, notes, or activities, you can select the specific item, pick the columns, go through them, whatever it is, swap them over, and then create a new centralized report for that. It's been a very helpful way to create specialized reports. Another new feature, which is in our contacts area, going back up here, is our check-ins. Now are more detailed than ever. You can now specialize and specify between a physical check-in, a call, or an email, all within the specific system and report on them separately. All right, I think we have a few questions here, so let me go down and see if I can get them answered. Is the beta now live? The beta is not live. We're going to go ahead and send out more details about that pretty soon. I believe it will be live over the next couple of weeks. This is the QA environment I'm in now, but it's pretty close to being ready to roll out, and we'll have more details for you guys soon. And Damien, I don't know if I got your question. Can you repeat it? Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone's time today and everyone's patience. And I'm really excited to show you guys what our new version of our platform can do with your own customers and your own accounts. Thank you.
All right. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to support@mapmycustomers.me, and we'll be able to surely help you guys out with that as well. All right. You guys have a good rest of your day and enjoy your weekend.